historic event in Kenya, I must come and be part of the history of our country. And to you who are going to be part and parcel of this project, I want to tell you that we are making strides as a country. We have discussed green fertilizer for many years. Many people did not imagine that green fertilizer is going to be a reality in our lifetime. Today, we are groundbreaking an $800 million facility that is going to generate 165 megawatts of energy. It is going to produce 480 metric tons of fertilizer. That is phenomenal, that is historic, that is big. And therefore, to all of you, the engineers who will be participating here, the professionals who will be participating here, the investors, our friends who have demonstrated confidence in our country. It is not always that you find an investor who is ready to put 100 billion in one's country. We take pride as the people of Kenya that investors are finding our country an interesting and a safe destination for their investment. And therefore, I want to thank Kaishan and all their partners. I see the contractors there, RB, I don't know who these guys are. They must be good people. Kaishan here, of course, our own Kengen and Sinochem, the whole lot of you guys. I want to assure you that the government of Kenya is 100% behind this project. We're going to give an offtake agreement for the fertilizer for our farmers because we are spending close to 60 billion shillings every year importing fertilizer. Once we produce fertilizer from this plant, we will not be importing fertilizer into Kenya. We will be manufacturing our own fertilizer, and that will be a very big step in the right direction. We will not only save foreign exchange, we will also use our own assets, resources to develop our country. Therefore, this is a major demonstration of confidence in Kenya by investors and a major step as a country in leading the way in our continent on green manufacturing. I have been a big champion of green industrialization, green energy, and how else could we demonstrate to the world that we can match our words with our actions? And today marks a decisive step in the journey to making what we have always talked about, green energy, a reality by not only producing green energy, but also green fertilizer and end up with green products from Kenya. So thank you very much to all of you. Asanteni sana, and I wish you well. Thank you.
We thank you for championing green growth and for your steadfast support to farmers and industry. To the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, led by Cabinet Secretary Honorable Pio Andai, thank you for exemplary stewardship and coordination across institutions. To the great people of Nakuru County, we thank you for your continuous support over the years. To Kaishan Group, thank you for your confidence in our resources, our systems, and our people. We wish you all the best in this undertaking. May this groundbreaking ignite imagination, inspire bolder partnerships, and remind us that with vision and unity, no frontier is beyond Kenya's reach. God bless you. God bless Kenyan. God bless Kenya.
A hearty clap for him again one more time, the CEO. Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to now call Dr. Yan Tang, General Manager, Kaishan Group, to come and make some brief remarks. Let's welcome him warmly with a clap. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, President of Republic of Kenya, Minister of Energy, distinguished officials and leaders from Ministry of Energy and Kenyan, our partners, colleagues, and friends, good morning. Today is another proud and historical day for us. We gather here at Olkaria to begin a new chapter in our clean energy journey. Just 1 year ago, on October 24th, 2024, we stood together at the groundbreaking of the Manigai 3 geothermal power plant. That project is now almost complete, and in just 1 month, we will commission it, and by the middle of February 2026, it will begin commercial operation. It shows what Kaishan's efficiency, strong partnerships, and a clear vision, and Kenya determination can achieve. And today, we begin our next step, the Kaishan Olkaria geothermal power plant and the green fertilizer plant. The new power plant, equipped with a cutting-edge Kaishan modular geothermal power plants, will deliver 165 megawatts of clean geothermal energy powered by Kenyan's geothermal steam. That energy then will power the world's first green fertilizer plant, which will produce more than 480,000 metric tons or more than 9.6 million bags of fertilizer each year. Made in Kenya and for Kenya. This will support our farmers avoid over-reliance on external fertilizer supplies, ensure reliability of fertilizer supply, and strengthen food security. But this project is more than just energy and fertilizer. It is a model of the true sustainability. We will recapture the non-condensable gases in the geothermal steam to produce carbon dioxide, which will feed into the fertilizer plant. This means zero emissions from the geothermal power plant, no waste, no pollution, a closed system where everything has a purpose. It will be the most sustainable and the most environment-friendly geothermal power plant in the world. As per our project plan, we will produce Kenya's first bag of green fertilizer within 24 months from the notice to proceed. We know it's not easy to achieve this target. We need your excellency and your team's full support. Continuously to pay attention to this project and promote its efficient construction. Together, we can overcome all kinds of potential challenges, both foreseeable and unforeseen. Together, we can accomplish this great project Together, we can create a new landmark of the green industrialization in Africa. We have done twice in Kenya already, and we will do it again. When that day comes, when the first kilogram of the green fertilizer is produced, we will invite Your Excellency to come to have a ribbon cutting ceremony and to celebrate Kenya's status as a world leader, not only in zero-emission geothermal energy, but also in green fertilizer manufacturing. This project also opens the door to the brighter future of the green industrialization. We hope we work together with the Kenya energy sector to realize our shared vision and blueprint for the future, to utilize Kaishan's innovative modular geothermal power plant technology and Kenya's vast geothermal resources bestowed by God to develop Kenya's green energy and green chemical industry, focus on the future mainstream energy sources, green power, green hydrogen, green ammonia, green methanol, and the various derivative products, not only green fertilizers, but also clean fuels. Together, we'll lead Africa into a greener and most sustainable future. Let's not stop here after this project. We will take more projects like this, and will supply the power to the national grid during the peak hours, and take power during the off-peak hours to produce hydrogen, ammonia, or methanol. Your Excellency, President Ruto, thank you for your leadership and your belief in the green industrialization of Africa. Your continued support has made it possible for projects like Kaishan Olkaria Geothermal Power Plant and the Green Fertilizer Plant to take shape. We also thank the Ministry of Energy and Kaishan and for your support, guidance, and partnership. And to Kaishan Group, thank also to all my colleagues for your hard work, commitment, and participation to building Kenya's future of the green power, green hydrogen, green ammonia, and green methanol, etc., which is also the future of our company. Together, we are making history right here at Olkaria, a history of geothermal power industry, truly zero-emission geothermal power plant, a history of green fertilizers, and a history that will inspire the world. Thank you very much.
Next, allow me to invite our host, since we're in Nakuru County, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency David Kones, representing the Governor Nakuru County. Let's give him a clap as he comes to make some few remarks. Karibu sana, DG.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, our CS and the PS, and allow me to see all protocols observed. I want to welcome you, Your Excellency, on behalf of Our Excellency Susan Higa, Governor Nakuru County, who asked me to be here today to welcome you. Welcome to Nakuru County, Your Excellency, for this very important occasion. Now, Your Excellency, as the county government of Nakuru, we welcome the project. I assure you, Your Excellency, that we really welcome the project very much, and we pledge maximum support. We are going to give them maximum support in the areas they require within the county government. Now, it is because, Your Excellency, this project will change the economy of the region in terms of jobs, affordable fertilizer for our farmers, given Nakuru is a food basket and will boost the food security in our county. So, Your Excellency, we also welcome more investors to come to Nakuru County so that they can boost the economy of our county. Now, I don't want to dwell so much, Your Excellency. Mine was only to welcome you here and say thank you very much.
Thank you, Bwana DG. And we'll have a short video presentation which will usher in the Cabinet Secretary. Before he comes in, let's have the short presentation that gives an overview of what to expect. The video, please.
The world grapples with the escalating impact of climate change, the need for sustainable solutions has never been more urgent. Rising temperatures, shifting weather patterns, and increasing carbon dioxide levels threaten our planet's future.
Imagine a world where energy and nature are not at odds, but in harmony.
At the forefront of combating these global issues is KenGen, East Africa's largest green energy producer, producing 60% of all the energy in Kenya and powering 130 billion light bulbs in the country every hour. KenGen has over 1,600 megawatts of installed renewable energy capacity, enough to power millions of homes, with 826 megawatts in hydropower, 976 megawatts in geothermal power, and 26 megawatts in wind power.
Kenya has a geothermal potential of more than 10,000 megawatts. We have only harnessed about 1,000 megawatts.
Between 1995 and today, here at Olkaria, we have an installed capacity.
It took 23 years to actually hack how geothermal wells and geothermal systems are, where we got in 1973 a self-discharging well.
Some of the technologies that have come up over the time, we have the RigSense that is giving us the real-time data to the supervisor and the driller, and will advise the processes to be taken and actions to be taken.
We have state-of-the-art equipment that are able to image in the order of kilometers up to about 40, 50 kilometers deep into Earth's subsurface.
The power we generate here is per the grid code. We generate power of the right frequency, right voltage and current, such that the end user at the factory or even at home, the equipment that utilizes this power is within the set parameters.
By tapping into geothermal wind and hydropower, KenGen is cutting carbon emissions and ensuring affordable, clean energy for all, driving the nation's commitment to the UN's climate goals.
KenGen has a lot of hydropower generation in the eastern region, Upper Tana and Lower Tana, but we are also looking at other regions in this country. From our strategy that is looking at the next 10 years, we are actually not going to put any power plant that is not green.
The desire to set up the Green Energy Park is to promote stable power that is available 24/7.
Alongside its green energy efforts, KenGen is actively engaged in community development in alignment with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Through the KenGen Foundation, the company has partnered with local organizations to conserve biodiversity, increase environmental awareness, and improve access to education for thousands of children across the country.
For the communities, we offer water points whereby they get their water for their domestic use, and also for their animals. And we also offer seedlings so that they can plant the trees around the schools.
We also do some scholarship provision to the children of the communities. And even besides giving them scholarships, those ones who are successful, when job opportunities are
whereby when they have barasas, or we come together and impart the knowledge on environmental conservation.
We work together with the communities. We have serious engagements that we carry out with them so that we walk the journey together. Our focus and our main interest is in the geothermal. What an opportunity to be able to have industries run their operations using 100% green energy. This green energy park is a trailblazer in this region.
Welcome to the Kenyan Green Energy Park, where innovation meets sustainability. Spanning over 4,500 acres of pristine land, Kenyan Green Energy Park is a masterclass of eco-friendly design and cutting-edge technology. Here, the latest advancement in geothermal comes together to create a thriving ecosystem that's efficient and sustainable. We are onboarding partners who believe in this ideology and doing business responsibly while preserving our planet. The Green Energy Park is powered by 100% geothermal power, an initiative that opens the possibility of going beyond achieving the zero carbon emissions mark to achieving what we call climate positivity and making that a reality. You cannot afford to be left out.
Round of applause for that information. And just to offer that, you cannot afford to be left out. Allow me, Your Excellency, at this point to invite the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, Honorable Opio Wandai, who will in turn invite His Excellency the President. Let's welcome him with a warm clap. Welcome, Waziri.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My task this morning, Your Excellency, is very simple. It's just to welcome you to Olkaria. Secondly, Your Excellency, before I proceed to do that, is to acknowledge the presence in our midst of a number of members of Parliament. We have the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly, the Honorable Tindi Mwale, who is the MP for Butere, accompanied by a number of his committee members, if you may be upstanding for His Excellency to see you. The Honorable Mary Emase, the Honorable Miriam Kitan, and yes, my good friend, yes, from Turkana Central. Thank you very much. And we also have, Your Excellency, with us, the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Energy of the National Assembly, who is also the MP for Narok East, the Honorable Ken Ahmad. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Your Excellency, this is indeed a historic day. It's a historic day not only for Olkaria, also for Kenya, and indeed for the entire Africa. The project, Your Excellency, that you've come to launch this morning is part of your transformative agenda. It fits squarely within your transformation agenda for this country. Your Excellency, is also a testament to the fact that green energy can not only power our industries and homes, but can also help us make advancements in the field of agriculture, Your Excellency. And therefore, this day will remain extremely memorable, not only to us as a Ministry of Energy, but to the entire country. Your Excellency, you have challenged us many times that we should make energy the engine of this country's transformation. This project partly answers that call, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I also believe that this bold step that we have made really makes us as a country get closer to achieving the first world status that we have always aspired this country to achieve. And therefore, Excellency, we want to encourage you to continue on this trajectory for the betterment of this country and indeed for the betterment of the entire humanity. Your Excellency, let me thank these categories of people. First and foremost, the KenGen board and management. The KenGen board and management for their invaluable support throughout this exercise. The Honorable Chairman, Honorable Alfred Agoy, is out of the country on official duty and he sent his apologies. For supporting us along the way. Finally, Your Excellency, let me thank the community of Olkaria. Wacha niwashukuru wananchi wapendwa wa Olkaria, Wanaivasha, Wanakuru County kwa kutuunga mkono katika hii safari. Kwa haya na machache, Mheshimiwa Rais, wacha nichukue fursa hii kukaribisha uje na uongee na watu wako. Hebu tusimame tumkaribishe Mheshimiwa Rais. Ngeleshe, asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to join you this morning here in Olkaria, Nakuru County to unveil this critical and transformative investment and venture, the KenGen Kaishan Green Ammonia Fertilizer Project. This project stands as a flagship of Kenya's green industrialization transformation, a compelling example of how energy, technology, and vision can converge to drive national prosperity, create opportunities for employment, expand opportunities for jobs and investment, and restore dignity to people. This is a very important event. I have been out of my office for a week. Today, when I landed in my office, I had a full desk with papers and stuff. But this was so important to me that I had to postpone even my trip to Qatar to be able to preside over this function. Many may not know the significance of what we are doing here today. Let me say, for many to understand, this event is historic because of three and many reasons. I'll give you a few. But one, this event represents an investment of $800 million. That is close to 100 billion shillings. It demonstrates confidence in the Republic of Kenya, and it gives us an indication of what investors think about Kenya. When we say we have stabilized our economy, we have brought inflation under control, we have stabilized our exchange rate, and our economy is on sound footing, this is what you get: confidence by investors to put their money in our country. Number two, it is significant because for the first time in the African soil, fertilizer will be produced from ammonia that is coming from green energy. This is the first ever plant in this continent that this is going to happen. We have been in many meetings. Ever since I came into office, I held the Africa Climate Summit to discuss how to balance environment and nature, and to persuade many who do not see how it is possible for us to live in a world that is sustainable and to have energy that does not interfere with nature. Today is a testimony that green energy is not only sustainable, but it is possible to power our energy needs using green energy. And number three, this event is significant because it speaks to the heart of our nation, and that is farming. And I speak so passionately as a farmer myself that we will now have fertilizer that is not imported. For record, we spend close to 80 billion shillings every year to import fertilizer to Kenya. This plant will now generate fertilizer from our own geothermal resources using local products, using local raw materials, local energy, local human capital, and 480 metric tons is close to 9.2 million 50 kilogram bags of fertilizer. That means that not only will farmers have a reliable supply of fertilizer that is not predicated on events elsewhere in the world, whether we have war in Europe or elsewhere, we will not have trouble with logistics. But much more importantly, it's going to save us on our foreign exchange. We will not be using our foreign exchange to import fertilizer. We will be producing fertilizer from our own resources. And therefore, this is a very significant investment and a very significant project for Kenya. It is also important for us to know that while I have pursued the chairman, we were supposed to do this with a different company called FFI, but they let us down. But when I discussed with the chairman of Kaishan, and he offered to step in, I have been on this project for the last 2.5 years. I think I have had countless meetings in my office. My good friend, the former CEO of GDC there, who is now an advisor in my office, has been working with me and my economic team to see how we can bring this to fruition. And so I am very, very proud this moment. This morning is a great morning for Kenya and for those of us who are farmers. I am making the first order of 5,000 bags of fertilizer. The first fertilizer I will be the one to use in my farm. Because for decades, farmers, who are the cornerstone of our nation, have borne the burden of unpredictable fertilizer prices, supply shocks, and global volatility. These challenges have inflated food costs, reduced yields, and strained household incomes. In 2023 alone, Kenya imported more than 600 metric tons of fertilizer at a cost of close to 80 billion shillings. In just the first half of 2025, we have imported 443 tons of fertilizer worth nearly 60 billion. That is between January and now. Each shipment represents a cost to our national treasury and to our dollar reserves, and a lost opportunity for young people in Kenya. This government is determined to change that reality, and today's event marks a decisive step towards self-sufficiency and resilience in fertilizer production. The Kenyan Kaishan Green Fertilizer Plant will produce, as I have said, 480 metric tons of fertilizer every year, guaranteeing farmers a steady and affordable supply. It will shield our economy from global price shocks, strengthen food security, and save the country's valuable foreign exchange reserves that can be now redirected to other national priorities. From deep beneath the Rift Valley flows one of our greatest industrial treasures, the geothermal steel. Kenya holds an estimated 10,000 megawatts of geothermal potential, yet we have harnessed just less than 10,000 or 10%, which is 1,000 megawatts. Kenya's leadership in geothermal energy gives us a unique advantage to power green industries sustainably. This project will tap 165 megawatts of geothermal power to synthesize green ammonia and convert it into fertilizer, the first project of its kind in Africa. Beyond fertilizer production, this venture will prevent more than 600 tons of carbon dioxide emission every year, equivalent to getting 130,000 internal combustion engine cars off the road. At the same time, it will create more than 1,000 jobs, offering opportunities for our young people and local communities. It will also nurture a new generation of geothermal engineers, hydrogen experts, process operators, and innovators in many fields, the pioneers who will power Africa's green industrialization future. Beyond its environmental and social impact, this project is also a sound commercial investment. With a total investment value of US dollars 800 million, it is projected to generate more than 13 million US dollars, that is 1.7 billion Kenya shillings in annual profits to KenGen, while opening new frontiers for carbon credit generation and trading under international climate mechanisms. Around the world, markets are rewarding sustainability. Green fertilizer will give Kenyan exports a competitive edge, open new markets for our agribusinesses, and strengthen our position in global value chains. Kenya is proud to lead Africa in proving that green innovation is both profitable and sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all appreciate, investments in energy are among the most capital-intensive ventures any nation can undertake. Expanding generation, transmission, and distribution requires massive upfront resources, yet it remains the foundation of every thriving economy. Without affordable and reliable power, there cannot be true industrialization, no thriving enterprise, and no inclusive prosperity. That is why we must pursue innovative and sustainable pathways to expand our national energy capacity. Kenya cannot realize her industrial and development aspirations on the current installed capacity of 2,300 megawatts. To power our ambition in manufacturing, mining, agriculture, infrastructure, and digital innovation, we must think bigger, move faster, and invest smarter. As government, we have therefore set out an ambitious target to increase our national energy capacity to at least 10,000 megawatts in the next decade. Achieving this goal will demand bold partnerships, creative financing, and strategic foresight. It is the reason why we are not only giving priority to public-private partnerships, such as the one we launched here today, but also establishing a national infrastructure fund to mobilize long-term blended capital for transformative projects, not only in energy, but also in transport, in our airports, in roads, in our dams, and other critical enablers of growth. As we expand our energy base, we are also transforming how we manage water and food security. We must be a nation that dreams boldly and executes decisively. Our target is to build 50 new mega dams across the country, bringing at least 2.5 million acres of land under irrigation to secure our food supply, boost agricultural productivity, and expand our agricultural exports. We cannot claim to be a food secure nation while still depending on rain-fed agriculture. Expanded irrigation will enable us to cut our current food import bill now standing at Kenya shillings 500 billion shillings annually, and redirect those resources to finance our national transformation agenda. At the same time, we must expand our road network. And speaking about what I have said here, the Member of Parliament who represents the next constituency here, on behalf of the other leaders from this region, it is our intention that as we expand the job opportunities that will be found in this KenGen, as was said by KenGen management, they will involve the local community here in making sure that the young people that come from this area become part and parcel of the workforce that will drive this great investment. Let me also say that as we expand our generation from geothermal, I'm very happy that there's a lot of expertise that has been built at KenGen on dam construction. As we do the 50 megawatt mega dams, we should be able to generate an extra 2,000 megawatts of energy and also store enough water to irrigate 2.5 million acres of land. Because at the moment, the land under production in rain-fed agriculture is almost depleted. And therefore, the only potential that exists for us to generate and produce more food and stop importing food to Kenya is to go irrigation. Irrigation, therefore, requires us to store water and to also make sure that we generate energy using that water as we use it for irrigation. And therefore, I am looking forward to working with the leaders in this space, members of parliament, both at the National Assembly and the Senate, as we push the new initiative that will give us an infrastructure fund that is going to work with the private sector. We all realize that unless we leverage the private sector, we will not have enough resources to drive our transformation. But if we work with the private sector, like in this particular case, Kaishan is investing $800 million. That is 100 billion shillings. That is not our money. That is not in the balance sheet of the Kenya government. It is private sector money. But how are we connecting the dots? We are giving them a power purchase agreement. We are going to give them a fertilizer purchase agreement that is going to support this investment. The National Infrastructure Fund will be able to be the fulcrum where we can structure more investments, leveraging on public resources, public assets, to leverage private sector resources to be able to implement public projects. Just here in Naivasha, this month, I will be coming to launch the road from Rironi to Mau Summit. It is going to cost anywhere between 170 and 200 billion. Again, it is not public money. How are we leveraging the private sector? This is private sector money. We are going to give them a concession agreement that is going to generate resources for them to repay their investment. And this is the kind of innovation and creativity that we need in the public sector for us to use public assets, public resources to leverage 3, 4, 5 times private sector resources to be able to drive our transformation. It is no longer possible for us to borrow money to build a road like the one we are going to build here from Rironi to Mau Summit. If we were to borrow 200 billion shillings, we would have to close our books and do nothing else. So it is important for us to know, how are we going to think outside the box? We need to be strategic, we need to be innovative, and we need to be agile in how we leverage the resources that we have. And that is why I am determined that our country has tremendous potential, and we've always talked about it, but we haven't actualized because there has not been enough strategic thinking, enough creative and innovative investments to be able to unlock the great potential that the country is. And that is why I insist that Kenya is a third world country by mistake. And we owe it to the people of Kenya to get Kenya to the right place. Kenya is supposed to be among the first world countries. And we can do it in our lifetime if we are strategic, if we are innovative, and if we can think outside the box. And therefore, I am very confident that this investment energizes our resolve of transforming Kenya to that great nation that it should be. When I say that we should expand, and this is the plan that I'm going to lay out to the people of Kenya, that we should have at least a minimum of 1,000 kilometers of dual carriageway tolled so that we can have enough superhighways in Kenya. I have instructed the Ministry of Roads to work on the first 10,000 kilometers priority list and another 10,000 kilometers phase 2, so that instead of haggling about 2 kilometers here, 10 kilometers there, 20 kilometers here, and we are scrambling and there is negative competition, we should be bold and do between 10 and 20,000 kilometers so that we can connect every part of Kenya and make every region believe that they belong to one great nation called Kenya. At the same time, I will be, and I'm happy that the members of parliament are here. When you go back to parliament, you will find on your desk a proposal from me on sovereign wealth fund and national infrastructure fund, because that is how we are going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. I remember the other day when I said we need about 4 trillion shillings to be able to do our roads, to be able to do 10,000 kilometers of 10,000 megawatts of energy, and to be able to do 2.5 million acres of irrigation. Many people think that 4 trillion shillings is not feasible. If this project alone is 100 billion, 4 trillion is just around the corner. And I'm going to show you how we are going to get 4 trillion and transform this nation. Already, as I talk to you, I remember when I was in Ethiopia, and I mentioned that we have signed contracts of $4 billion under our housing program. Many people question the statistics. I want to repeat. Let me put it in Kenya shillings. $4 billion is roughly close to beyond 500 billion Kenya shillings, almost 600. That is the contracts we have signed in our housing, in our markets, in our hostels. And we have done it using our own resources. We have not borrowed a shilling from anybody. That is how you transform a nation. And that is how we're going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country in our lifetime, by doing the innovative stuff, by working with creativity, by having strategic foresight. I welcome all leaders. I'm happy members of parliament are here, and every other Kenyan, that we're going to work together. This is the scale of our ambition and the measure of our determination to build a modern, food-secure nation supported by world-class infrastructure that powers opportunity and prosperity for every Kenyan. Together, we are called upon to dream boldly, act decisively, and deliver a future of shared prosperity. One of the presidents of the United States said, leaders are measured by the vision they have and the price they are willing to pay for its achievement. I want to challenge every leader in Kenya that the vision we have for our nation, we must be willing to pay the price for its achievement. Thank you very much. My very best wishes to Kaishan and Kengen. I look forward to coming here in 2027 in April to open the plant. And I look forward to your supply of fertilizer in August, as you have told me. I want to be the first farmer to use green fertilizer from our own resources. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
One more round of applause for His Excellency's wonderful speech. May I request that we take our seats briefly? Your Excellency, we have some gifts for you. Let's take our seats, please. Kindly, let's take our seats. And the first gift is from Kengen. So let me invite the MD and CEO, Engineer Peter Njenga, to present the gift. Naomba tafadhali tuketi. Hebu tuketi kidogo tafadhali. Tuketi. Tuketi.
Asanteni sana. Wananchi wa hapa wanasema hawajapata stima. Very good. Sasa wewe waziri, kabla hujatoka hapa ukubaliane na hawa wananchi. Ketini tu, ketini chini. Utakubaliana na hawa wananchi vile watapata stima. Si ndio? Si nyinyi ndio mnatusaidia kupata stima Kenya mzima? Na si nyama ikichinjwa iko na ya wale wa kuchinja nyumbani pale. So waziri and your peers, I want you to work with the community around here. I know some houses, kuna manyumba zingine zimepata, lakini hao wananchi wanasema hawajapata stima ya kutosha. Ni namna hiyo. Na vile vile tuunganishe barabara ile ya kutoka hapa, tuunganishe mpaka ishikane na ile barabara ya kwenda Narok. Ndio hawa wananchi tafuatilia, ndio tuhakikisha kwamba dunia hiyo inasonga. Ni sawa hivyo? Ni sawa hivyo? Bas. Ati? Aya, asante sana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
MD, kindly, if you can come and present the gift, and then let's have the second one. But the first one presented by MD and CEO Peter.